My name is Séamus Gallagher. I'm a lens-based media artist, so I work in photo, video, and virtual reality mostly. And I am based here in Chibuktuk, Halifax. And my pronouns are they, them.
How does living in Nova Scotia impact the creation of your work? Because it seems big.
Yeah. I kind of have two answers to that. Okay. The more optimistic side is that the community here, since I moved here 7 years ago, I found everybody to be so supportive. And so many artists and mentors have just been so generous with their time and helping me work through ideas, and also just on the sort of logistical end of being an artist, helping with grant writing and just giving words of encouragement, letters of support. The maybe more critical answer is that living specifically in Halifax, it's very difficult to find space. There is a rental housing crisis. And so that has impacted my work in just finding appropriate studio space. So for a lot of the times I've sort of shifted into working in a more digital capacity, working with sort of video game engines and virtual reality, because with that context, I can create expansive spaces without actually having the physical space. But I'm fortunate to work at Center for Art Tapes here, and during my time off, I can use our project room to create the more large-scale work that I want to. So I feel very lucky in my position here.
Did you always know you would be an artist?
So in high school, sort of my way of finding community and way of connecting is through drawing and sort of uploading drawings online. And that sort of creative practice and also sort of finding spaces online really helped me and sort of solidified what are still the reasons that I make art today, is sort of finding ways of connecting and getting sort of my own ideas out through variety of means.
You've gotten very interesting appreciation of your work recently, and a lot of just you're exhibiting in crazy spaces. Does that come back and feel rewarding, you made the right choice, or did you ever have any second guesses?
It's definitely been validating. I just got to see my work at the National Gallery last week, which feels surreal. So appreciative of it. Very proud. Also just some built-in anxiety in sort of showing work in that sort of location.
Do you ever find yourself in a situation where God, I just want to focus in on photography, or you want to focus in on this, or are you kind of always multidisciplinary in that way? Yeah,
multidisciplinary is a good way of putting it. I was going to say all over the place. I just, a lot of things interest me, and I sort of do a lot of research and figuring out what ideas I'm trying to work through. And then during that process, finding out what kind of medium best fits it.
How do you decide this is going to be a photo, this is going to be something else, this is going to be...
Yeah, good question. So it always starts with the creative process is more a very dry research period. I'll just be on my laptop at Java Blend or Ramblers just working. And that can last months and months before I sort of read enough essays and make enough connections where I feel I have a good starting point to figure out what my next project will be. And then I sort of work on more the sort of technical computer side of generating visuals that excite me using sort of video game engines like Unity. I do a lot of sculpting in VR, which is a nice way of sort of working through creating things with easy way of experimenting with new sort of visual aesthetics. And then I just try to find connecting points between my research and the things I'm creating, and get to work on usually building a set is something that is pretty consistent throughout all of the work I do, with the full intention of the end result being a photo or a video. So once I'm done filming or recording, I just don't have the space to justify keeping it. So down in the recycling bin it goes.
If you could think of your big aspirations that you have for the future, what would they be?
I think as long as I can keep pushing myself, I worry that at a certain point I might just get complacent and regurgitate work that I've already done. But if I can have the opportunity and space to still experiment with new ideas, new projects, new ways of working, that's the dream for me.